Bates Motel season premiere recap, Mother Knows Best. Tonight's fantastic episode of Bates Motel builds perfectly on the climax of Season 4, capturing the deepening emotional rupture that allows Norman Bates, Freddie Highmore, to live with his dead mother, Norma, Vera Farmiga. The two leads have never been better, and showrunner, episode writer Kerry Ehrin sets the stage for the final arc of this classic mother and son duo as she links Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho to her vision of Bates Motel. It's going to be a fun season. It may not have been completely intentional, but Dark Paradise includes the kind of bait and switch that Hitchcock would have loved. For weeks now, A&E has been advertising the arrival of Rihanna as Marion Crane, the doomed traveler played by Janet Leigh in the classic film. She's nowhere to be found in this premiere, but fans of the film likely perked up at the mention of another name, Loomis. We may not be getting the Bates Motel iteration of Marion quite yet, but we are getting its bizarre take on Marion's lover, Sam Loomis. In Psycho, Sam was a divorced hardware store owner played by John Gavin. In Bates Motel, we meet a paint store owner named Madeleine Loomis, Isabelle McNally, who looks an awful lot like Norma. The funhouse mirror version of the Loomis name is clever, taking something familiar and spinning it off in a new direction. Instead of just a new character, Madeleine Loomis reminds us of the film, keeping us further on edge. Bates Motel is turning up the dial on references to the film that spawned it, and it does so brilliantly. Dark Paradise plays with perception and reality in its very first shot. As a pair of hands start up a record player, You Must Have Been a Beautiful Baby by Bing Crosby, and then we cut to Norman in bed, waking up. Of course, we know Norma is dead, so Norman must have started the record himself. He's the only one living in the house, although not in his mind. He sees flowers by his bed, women's clothing drying in the bathroom, and goes downstairs to see Norma tying a green bow behind her back, cooking fresh muffins, eggs, and bacon. Norma is apparently an even better housekeeper now that she's dead, although I love that she's not just a dream version of Norman's mother. She's already complaining about not being allowed out of the house. She's trapped there. When he leaves to go manage the motel, she literally disappears, and the camera pans to a kitchen full of dirty dishes in total disarray. Norman and Norma fight over dinner. He hates having blackouts, but refuses to take his medication. They talk a little about Madeleine, with Norma still playing that passive-aggressive game that she did when she was alive. The next night, Norman wants to go to a meeting to which he was invited by Madeleine. Norma insists that he shouldn't because of his blackouts, but actually because she needs to the car to dump Jim Blackwell's body. She drags him inside by his ear, all the way to the basement, where the body chills in a freezer. We flash back to Blackwell's arrival, when he pulled a gun on Norman and Norma stabbed him to death with a box cutter. It's all dreamlike imagery, atypical for Bates Motel but a great new touch. Someone came to kill Norman and Norma saved him. They work together to dump the body when Blackwell's phone rings. Norman grabs it and answers. It's Alex, calling from prison.